Hello, I am Holly and welcome to the School of Holly YouTube channel. I do already have another YouTube channel which is called Analog Holly, but that one is more dedicated to my love of photography and art, and this one is going to be much more about books and literature. So I thought I'd do the Booktube Newbie tag to answer some questions. I thought that'd be a nice little introduction to what I'm hoping to get out of this channel. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I've kind of already explained that. I have another YouTube channel, but I have tried to put some more book-related content onto that channel, but it didn't really perform very well, so I've decided just to split it because I didn't want to keep trying to shoehorn one topic into my photography when it didn't really feel like it fit. I think it's just going to be better to have two separate spaces for my two big passions in life. What is something unique that you can bring to Booktube is question number 2. I think that a lot of what I read, a lot of the paths that I'm led down in terms of research and interests are very much influenced by the stuff that I'm learning about history, about philosophy, about art. I tend to pick up fiction that helps to bolster the things that I'm learning about. I think that many of the paths that I go down bring different books to what I'm used to seeing being recommended on YouTube, or in different ways to what I've seen being recommended on YouTube. So hopefully I will be bringing something a little bit unique, but let's see. Question number 3, what are you excited about? So I love making YouTube videos. Over on my other channel, my partner, my best friend, does a lot of the editing side of it, but every now and then I do get to have a go at the whole process, and so I am quite excited about doing this channel entirely on my own, having a go at improving my editing, at yeah, just doing the other side of it as well as the filming. But from a more Booktube specific, from a content perspective, I'm just really excited to be able to talk about something that I really am passionate about with a bit of freedom. So as I say, on my other channel, I did try to bring in some fiction and some literary themes, but it really felt contrived. It felt like I was really trying to force it in, whereas over here I'm hoping just to have the freedom to talk about books as I want to talk about books. Question number 4 is, what is a book or series that got you into reading? This one is a bit hard because I have been a reader for as long as I can remember. There was no specific point at which I became a reader, but some of the earliest things that I remember reading that have stuck in my mind are the Womble series, which I used to read with my grandparents when I went to visit them, and I've now bought those to read with my kids. The other one that really sticks in my mind is that when I was at the middle grade age, I would listen to audiobooks to go to sleep, and I had the Jeeves and Wooster series, P.G. Wodehouse, which I used to listen to. So that one is another one that sort of sticks in my mind as an early book, but yeah, I've been a reader for as long as I can remember. Next question. What questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? So I don't really know. It very much depends on the booktuber, but one sort of blanket question that I would have for many of them who listen to audiobooks is they often talk about listening to their audiobooks on 2 times or 3 times speed. I cannot listen to anything on more than 1.5. Generally, I stick to around 1.25. How do you absorb anything that you're listening to if you're listening on 2 or 3 times speed? That's what I would ask them. Next question. What challenges around starting a Booktube channel do you think will be the hardest to overcome? And I think for me specifically, it's going to be managing 2 different channels. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if this lasts. Where do you like to read? I have different ways of reading. So audiobook, ebook and physical, I'm happy to read all of those. I tend to listen to audiobooks when I'm out walking the dog, or if I'm going on a long car journey where I'm the driver, I'll listen to audiobooks. Ebooks, I tend to read mostly when I'm putting my kids to bed. So once I've read their books and they've turned the lights out and they're going to sleep, I'll then sit with them while they fall asleep reading an ebook. And it's nice for them, they like my presence, and it's nice for me because it's a moment of peace where I am literally sat in the dark reading, which is nice. And then physical books, that tends to be what I read the most of. And I will read those in the car, on trains, when I'm going to bed, like any time really. What kinds of books do you like? Now, This is another really hard one because I'm really, at the moment, I can really see my tastes evolving. One thing that tends to be a theme that runs through my reading is I love speculative fiction, whether that's dystopia, apocalyptic, science fiction, anything like that. I really love. I'm starting to enjoy some fantasy, having previously not been a big fantasy reader. I'm definitely not particularly a romance reader, but I do like it when another genre has romance woven into it. I love literary, but I don't like literary on its own. Again, it needs to be woven into something else, such as science fiction, literary dystopia, literary speculative fiction. Those sorts of things tend to be my bag. But yeah, it's definitely evolving. There's definitely a lot of variety in what I read. When I look back through my sort of stats and through the books that I've read this year, so far in 2022, there is basically every genre represented. Classics, horror, sci-fi, romance, contemporary, middle grade, YA, adult, like everything. I've read a bit of everything, so yeah, definitely evolving. The final question on this Booktube Newbie tag is, what does your book collection look like? In terms of the visuals, I'm still in a bit of chaos. We're currently redecorating one of our rooms, which will house most of my books in the end. So I won't actually show you my book collection, but I think that in terms of, say, special editions and stuff like that, I tend to only have special editions where it's a book that I've really loved, because I'm more than happy to buy a book from a charity shop, try it, see if I like it, and then pass it on, rather than just going straight for a special edition when it's new out. However, I do have special editions such as sprayed edges, things like that, signed books, but they tend to be ones that I've picked up from charity shops. So I have quite a range. You know, I love a good charity shop, good charity shop book. So yeah, there's quite a mix, and there's not a lot of special editions on my shelves. So that's the end of the Booktube Newbie tag. I am really looking forward to this, and my next video I think is going to be the beginning of Whatever-a-thon, which is my first readathon that I'm joining. I'm very excited about, so see you in the next one.